To you all, my name's Katie Silver. I'm a journalist with the BBC, and I regularly cover a lot of topics to do with aviation, be it travel trends, be it unfortunate crashes in recent times, be it new planes that are coming to market, the influence of China, you name it. Speaking to people today who are quite literally keeping the world moving. And when I think of aviation right now, I think of an industry that's going through so much change. It's a fascinating, some may say turbulent moment in its history. On the one hand, there's cutting-edge technology, pledges around sustainability, and of course, the post-pandemic recovery. But on the other hand, skyrocketing costs, ongoing environmental scrutiny, and AI, of course. You can't get through anything without mentioning AI, knocking on the cockpit door, threatening to change everything. So where does it leave us? Aviation, as I see it, and I appreciate I'm a jack of all trades, we will be hearing from the masters very shortly, is at a crossroads, under pressure to decarbonise while demand for flights continues to grow. AI promises efficiency, but of course raises those questions around safety and trust, and the industry must prepare for future pandemics, future shocks, while still trying to recover from the last ones. And let's not forget, for passengers at the moment, the biggest question is the cost of flights, and I, for one, have not spent more time than ever before on Google Flights, looking at various different routes and combinations, because flying seems to be more and more expensive. Despite these challenges, and some may well say opportunities, aviation remains one of the most remarkable achievements of human ingenuity. The ability to cross continents in hours has transformed economies, cultures, societies, the way we all live. And so the question is, what next? And you, in this room, are going to shape it, as are my two guests that I'm lucky enough to speak with today. So I'd like to also remind us all there's a hashtag, it's Aviation Fest Asia. Please do join the conversation if you're that way inclined. And I'd like to welcome to the stage Athanasios Titonis, the Chief Executive of Mactan Cebu International Airport, for conversation really on everything, so much change going on for him and his airport at the moment. So thank you, thanks for joining me.
Nice to see you. Hi.
Great. Okay, so we had a chat last week, and I was fascinated to hear about your background from Cologne to the Middle East and now the Philippines. Tell me, how is the market and conditions in the Philippines different from all of those decades of experience you have elsewhere?
The market in the Philippines is a growing market. It's a new business aviation market, and there are a lot of privatizations are going on, and this is the opportunity for us. My company, which is Aboitiz Corporation, we are privatizing airport. We're getting concessions from the government, and that's why we have Cebu fully owned since almost a year. This is under us. And the other two ones, we have another two airports, which is Bohol, which is a tourism destination as well, like Cebu. Yeah. And the third one, which we are going to have this June, July, is Cagayan de Oro, CGY. So what is the nice thing here? I think we will hear the airlines later on today as well, to be part of a development in this industry in Philippines, and operating 3 airports, and maybe more to come in the future, that give us a big chance, right, to serve the tourism industry. Yeah, and this is our vision and mission as well. Yeah.
Now, we also spoke about how you're turning this airport international.
Yeah.
For a layperson, what's involved in making that happen?
Look, if you have a view on Philippines, and you will see our airport, Cebu. Cebu is geographically in the center of Philippines. Yeah. So there's no rocket science to think about to have a transfer hub there. And this is what other airports like Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore are doing since decades. We are developing that right now, because we don't have that in Philippines. So our idea is, or our vision is, to become the tourism gateway in Philippines. What means that? Okay, Manila is the main airport. It's the capital. It's a 50 million airport, right? So I could say we have 2 chances here, or 2 opportunities. I might say that we do better than Manila. I might say we're doing much better than Manila. Okay. And they geographically center with a partnership with 2 airlines, which is Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific, will open us to be a transfer airport. So what we did already, a great job from the team. We are having already D2D, domestic to domestic transfer. This is in place in 35 minutes, and this is great, right? And now next step in summer season 2025, now, end of March, we are going to have international to domestic as well. So the idea, come to Cebu, yeah, and we will transfer you via Cebu to the other islands of Philippines. This is what we are developing. It's not rocket science, but it's good. I think this is a big opportunity for us. And having more airports in our portfolio, yeah, that will be easier to give the airlines a good package, right? Yeah.
Now, we talked about AI in the introduction, digital technologies. Tell me, how are you adopting digital technologies? How is that changing your business?
Yeah, this is, I think we are talking about AI and digitalization in our industry a long time. Yeah. We are behind, our industry is definitely behind the other industries. There's no question about that. But I think we have a chance to over-jump developments. I'll give you an example. Oh no, something else, much better. I grew up in the tourism industry. Yeah, that was an old German airline, LTU, doesn't exist anymore. And we did at that time hotel check-in. Very manual, right, for our passengers. Paper work, a lot. So those things can be done now easy. Yeah, and this is what we are doing right now. It's an airport operator in a tourism destination that opens us a chance to have a better customer experience by doing the check-in and all the processes. This is a small thing. That's not a big thing. I think the big thing is really to become, I would say, a seamless travel without stuff and predictive as well. So why I'm saying that? We can do remote easily meanwhile. Yeah, ATC is doing remote towers. Yeah, so I think we as an airport operator can have a remote operational AOCC, the Airport Operation Control Center, in other airports together, and being predictive. Yeah, seeing what is going to come up. Another example, very specific. We have this service, seeing where is our customer flow, passenger flow, right? But it's not really predictive. We don't know what is coming up the next. With AI, we will see in the future what is going to come in the operation, in the turnaround of the aircraft as well. There are good developments in Gatwick, which I've seen, very good, interesting developments with AI for the turnaround.
Okay. When you mention, I wonder just if also on the topic of security, airport security, can you see AI helping to make that process more seamless for passengers?
Yeah, absolutely. Another project which we have at the airport, we have 3 big projects, right? The first one was the transfer. The second one, as you might know, Philippines has a strong labor force, right? Working force outside of the country. So all of them have to go to Manila, yeah, because the setup is there. So we are doing 2 things here. First thing is to have the same setup in Philippines. There's nothing to do with AI. Second, biometric seamless travel with AI will give us a competitive advantage, right? Because those people who will have everything on our mobile and will have their entrance at the airport via biometrics, and we will see, I wouldn't say the behavior, right? It sounds not good, but AI will give you a chance to see what is going on at the airport and what are the risks. So there are 2 projects here which is helping us AI. And I think there is much more. I want to mention one thing, because to be honest, I don't really know what AI will bring us in the next 10, 20 years. That's why we created a project with one of the big tech companies. I can say that, right? It's Google. Yeah, that's okay. It's Google.
The more information, the merrier.
Yeah, the idea is we asked Google, we asked several other ones, but Google came back. We said, guys, if you run the airport, how you do it? Give us a feedback. What is your idea, right? And this is not only about operational. This is much more about commercial as well. Because a combination, we have a attendant management system, we have an airport management system. It's not about interfacing them, it's understanding the data. And those guys are going to tell us. I might be happy next year to tell you more details about that, because this is a starting project right now.
Fascinating. Yeah. Now, your airport closed for 3 days in December 2021 due to a typhoon. And I understand you reopened it using a new layout. Can you explain how you saw an opportunity there, or how your predecessors saw an opportunity there?
Yeah, that was.
And I guess, how that promoted some room for innovation.
Yeah. So first of all, our airports, I'm an operational guy. I grew up in the operation. And at the end of the day, all the commercial topics which we need, we are a private-owned company, right? We need to make money. But business continuity and crisis management is the base. If you don't have that in a good shape, everything else makes no sense. So long story short, I think the biggest, let me say, the secret of the success was the identification of the people with the product. Yeah. So for sure, we have the manuals, we have the business continuity plans, we have everything in place. But when I came in and I saw how great they did the job, 3 days closed airport, typhoon, right? And I think I can say that they were 24/7 at the airport. They slept at the airport, our team, to manage the whole thing. So one thing is to have the processes, which are in place. The other thing is that the people are running the show to get the airport as fast as open with the authorities as possible. We are learning out of that. And that's the next one. When I got this call, go to Philippines, if that's an option, I was like, oh, that's great. And then I realized, oh my God, the biggest crisis which I had in my previous job, except COVID, right? There were small things, snowstorms, right? 12 hours maybe max, right? Airport closed maybe an hour. And I think our capability to manage those things in the future, because it's a learning. I saw that from other countries. It's a learning. That's the secret of success. It's a learning.
Yes.
Yeah?
When we spoke last week, you said one phrase that really stuck with me, which was one typhoon and we're done. So how, in an area, you did?
Oh, no.
I mean, maybe temporarily done, but
No.
in an area that is so vulnerable to natural disasters and environmental shocks, how do you mitigate these?
Yeah. That's a good question. Let me come to more details, right? So first of all, our airport operation control center has to have a second one outside of the airport. That's the first one. Because imagine when I said we are done, I mean operational, right? Not commercial.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah. Done for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having outside of the airport, far away, something in place which can run whatever needs to be run at that time, this is the first base. Second, having a remote, because we had this discussion, let me elaborate on that a little more specific. We had this discussion, how far away should that be? Yeah? Should it be in the city? It could be in the city as well. So this discussion, and having now the chance operating 3 airports, so that's the idea what we are developing now, that we will have for every airport a different AOCC, a backup AOCC, to run the other airport. And the distance is big.
AOCC, sorry.
Airport Operating Control Center.
Okay,
sorry.
I'm sure everyone else knew that.
I think most of the guys.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so that's the first thing, how to keep on going. And the second is for sure, for me, very important as well, is how long we are planning to be out of service, right? We're planning 24 hours, 3 days, and the max what I've seen is for us 3 days. The 3 days is the max.
And do you see these alternative locations being able to ramp up flights coming in, for example, if one of them goes offline? Will they be able to stand in for each other?
Yes. This is what I mean, sorry, yeah? To clarify that. And what I've totally forgot to mention is definitely the airlines, right? We are working very close with the airlines, developing those things. And this is 2 airlines in Philippines. One is, it's 3, but 2 are the big. It's Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific. Yeah.
The other interesting element I found is that you said you're not necessarily trying to be the Manchester or the Sydney, the most efficient in the world. What are you seeing the je ne sais quoi of your airport being?
I like that. There are a lot of efficient airports. What is our airport strategy? This is the question. Yeah. So who are we? Who we are? What's the difference between us and the other airports? We are doing all more or less the same. Some of us better, right? I wouldn't claim that we want to be the most efficient airport in the world. Yeah? That's not. We will, but we will be in a mid-range, good range. I think what is our competitive advantage? We are definitely the friendliest airport, right? Asia Pacific, maybe in the world. Let's see what the award will bring 2025. But I think this is, when I arrived in Cebu, I realized one thing. I had a really true smile, honest smile. This is something which, as a passenger, you like that. And this is our competitive advantage, the friendliest airport in Asia Pacific. We want to get there. And I'm very, 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 very confident that we'll get there. And the other thing is definitely this combined with processes which have a seamless travel, that's a big thing what we can do.
Now, I understand, of course, Philippines tourism is going gangbusters. There was almost a 10% rise in 2024 compared to the year earlier. huge increases now than before the pandemic. How is that helping businesses?
A lot.
Yeah.
We are tourism the airport, right? For sure, our recovery was not that good as we wished, to be honest. Our main market is Korea. Yeah, our business is coming. I was last week in Korea to understand the market again, what is going on in Korea.
How big? How big is the market that comes from Korea?
For us, Korea is doing 50% of our tourism.
Fascinating.
Yeah? International, not tourism, international traffic.
Yes.
So this is a main pillar for our business, but we are moving. We lost China. To be very clear here, we lost China as a tourism as a tourism source.
Temporarily, or?
I hope temporarily. Right? This is geopolitical, right? To make it very simple. But there's another big market in the world, right? Everyone is fighting for this market, and this is India. Yeah, and I worked with the Indians very close in my previous jobs, and I think this is a huge market. Our team is in India, so we are going to ease now our visa regulations. The government is going, not we. So we are just supporting a little. And India will be our next big market. We are talking to 2 airlines. Unfortunately, Air India wants to fly first to Manila, which I understand. If there's someone from Air India, I'm happy to talk later on. Okay, let's talk. So, and the second is, we are talking to the other airlines as well. So, and India is a new market. So we are moving to India. We want to open to Australia and US. This is having the transfer product in place, right?
Yes.
Having the Australians and we have a big minority in the US and Australia, Filipinos. That's why the second project. And the third project, maybe I can mention that, which is a very crucial for us as well, is the air to sea business. Maldives is doing that since, I don't know, ever since. And this is a third product. So we will open in March, end of March, the connectivity. You arrive with your aircraft, we will bring you to the boat, which is 50 minutes away, and you will be on the island on the way to your island. This is the 3 projects. And India, that's a good thing for the Indians. We are already selling that to them. Yeah?
Because of the ease. Have they got a particular desire for that ease, that convenience?
Especially, I learned in India, the young people, the couples, they want to travel. They want to go out of the country, right? They want to see, they're becoming wealthy, and they want to see things. And Philippines is a great place to see, definitely.
Now, are you trying to also make it into a major regional hub, and how do you assess the competition from the likes of Changi and Hong Kong? Is that in your long-term aspirations?
I like football. Maybe I can answer that with a football comparison. I think, okay, Dubai, Changi, they are playing Champions League, right? This is out of our level, far away. We are playing National League. But in 3 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years from now, we'll try to get in the Champions League. Yeah? Let me phrase it like that. Yeah.
Sure, yes. And as well, okay, we mentioned the idea of it being a feeder airport, and currently in Philippines there being no transport hub. Can you tell me about how you've managed to change the time or the duration that passengers need to spend?
Good point.
Yeah.
Look, we had a lot of, as I said, I'm an operational guy, right? I came from make it short as possible, seamless travel, 35 minutes domestic, great, yeah? But we are not making money here, right? Because the passenger needs a little time to stay at the airport as well. So it's a combination. So we already introduced the 35 domestic connectivity. We are going to introduce the 60 minutes international connectivity because our infrastructure is in a good shape. We can do that, yeah? Processes are developed. And the next thing, because when I went to my shareholders and I said, we have a not new idea, but great idea, and we need a terminal connectivity, first I had to convince them that this works. So we are going to do that with the existing infrastructure. Plan is 27, yeah, I think 27, to have a new terminal between Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. Terminal 1 is domestic, Terminal 2 is international. Connect them with a terminal, that will be the future. So this is how we are going to manage that.
And just on that issue of tourism, and I guess the symbiotic relationship that you can get from growth in Philippine tourism, is there anything that you as an airport can do to try and spur that on, I guess, to bring markets back? Or is that a job for the Philippines Tourism Board and then you hope to ride off the back of that?
I think we discussed it, I think as well. This old thinking, we are just an enabler. We are landlord, right? Who comes, we serve. That's the old thinking. Since 20 years or 25 years, our industry is going to develop business as an airport operator. And this is what we are doing with all the stakeholders. It's not only the tourism industry, it's the hotel operators, all the stakeholders. I think other countries did it as well, to have one approach to the markets. And this is what we are developing, led by our tourism industry, tourism department.
Okay. And one last question for you. If we're on this stage in 5 years' time having this conversation, what do you hope that you'll have achieved, or how will the airport look different?
Wow. I think two things. One thing, having a nice house on a Greek island and preparing to live there and consult whoever needs a consultancy.
Sounds great,
Happy.
yeah.
That's the private thing. And the business thing, to knock at the Champions League at the transfer. Yeah, that's our idea. That's our vision.
Watch this space. Thank you for joining
Thank you very
me on
much.
stage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.